What's up, everybody? Welcome to After the Bell. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend and you're ready for the daily grind or weekly grind or whatever you guys do in your daily lives. If you're at school, you should be watching this show. Go get your education, like I'm doing. Got some Twitter questions, got some Facebook questions, got a lot of YouTube. Actually, I don't have a lot, but I do have some YouTube questions that we were able to keep relevant because we haven't got the YouTube stuff in a while. I apologize to you guys on YouTube for not addressing your questions recently. It's my bad. I take full responsibility for that, but the ones that are still relevant, we'll get to them today. Okay. First one is from Court of Crows. At Court of Crows, Mr. Green. With the WWE revitalizing the tag team division, which tag team do you see or want to see dethrone the Boom and Truth? Well, my first choice would have been the Primetime Players, because I like Darren and Titus, but it doesn't appear that it's going to happen that way, unfortunately, because with the release of AEW, they're still pushing those kids, but it's just a matter of whether it's actually going to happen or not. I'd like to see the Usos get their shot. I'd like to see Kid and Gabriel. They're a cool team. I like them. I have for a while since they've been together. I like the tag teams that they have established right now. Any one of those teams could be tag team champions. It's just a matter of who they want to push the most. My choice would be the Primetime Players or the Usos, for sure. Alright, this is from Matthew Moore. Let me get his full name. Moore Cameraman. Being a fan of WWE for 27 years, I'm now so fed up with the WWE. So fed up with the crap they show now. Do you ever think to yourself sometimes, what has happened? What has this company turned into? And I'm fed up with this crap. They are feeding us, and I'm now starting to hate the product they are giving to us every week. Sorry. Okay. That's a long question. I honestly don't dislike everything about the product that WWE is showing us, but I definitely have preferred TNA recently. I know it's gonna make a lot of y'all crap your pants because TNA has not been my favorite, but TNA's overall product I feel has been better in terms of the in-ring work, in terms of mostly everything. The Knockouts matches leave a lot to be desired. Then again, it's the Divas matches. It's days like this I actually miss, the indie wrestling, the indie women wrestling that I was actually helping out in, even though we didn't get a whole lot of stuff off the ground. There were still some actually decent girls out there that we were scouting. But, TNA's presentation has been very, very good for what they have. WWE, we talked about this on, actually, we're going to talk about this later in the week with Dads, but, they don't seem to feel the need to do anything to improve because they have real competition. And I think that's the biggest problem in the last 11, 12 years. They killed WCW, they bought ECW's ruins, and TNA's not a threat. So they don't care. The one and only, at Sleeperhold31. Jeff, in your opinion, who are the top 5 or so toughest dudes to ever lace them up if they were to shoot fight? Well, considering that Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock are both in wrestling and in the shoot fighting world of UFC, I'll give them the nod. Harley Race. Harley Race was one of the toughest dudes I ever saw, even on tape. Even at, his age managing Vader in WCW in the 90s, he was still a tough old bastard. Definitely give Harley credit. I always will. Harley was one of the greatest guests I ever had on my old show, too. Harley was awesome to us. Dr. Death Steve Williams. You want to talk about tough? You want to talk about, hard-nosed and, tough as nails? Guy had a match earlier in the day, got 100 and something stitches in his head, and went out and wrestled that same night. Came back to the arena and wrestled a main event match later that night for Bill Watts. Dr. Death earned his title and earned the respect of guys like JR and everything like that. That's why Dr. Death is awesome. For 5, there's so many guys that are, legit tough that are in the industry. It's really hard to say a top 5 or to top anything. They're all still very tough and they don't get near enough respect. But Harley and Dr. Death and Severn and Shamrock are definitely up there. Tank Abbott, you know, people say, well, Tank Abbott was in UFC. You know, yeah, that's great. But Tank Abbott didn't come off ever as really a tough guy. They pushed him as a 3-count, you know, groupie. It made it look horrible. Brock Lesnar, as much as I dislike that guy, he's definitely one of the baddest dudes on the planet right now as far as wrestling goes, as far as fighting goes, you know. Yeah, he got sick twice. Yeah, he got his butt whooped his last 2 fights. But you know what? I defy you to go up to Brock's face and tell him he's a puss. Seriously. Yeah, definitely double defy you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Brock eats you for breakfast and floss with your stash, dude.
I'd do it and then run.
Exactly. Ian Dunn, at Dunn Ian. It's like that Ricky Lawson guy. He needs to switch his name. To Jeff, who will headline the Hall in 2013? There are rumors going on, maybe The Undertaker or Mick Foley. Either one of those guys could headline a Hall of Fame class at the end of the day. Undertaker more so because it's The Undertaker, obviously. But if the rumors are indeed true and the streak is going to end next year, The Undertaker needs to headline the class. He needs to be the next active inductee after Ric Flair. No question about that. If it's not going to end next year, then they can hold off on that. Mick Foley's definitely a good candidate. There really aren't a whole lot of headliners left. You've got The Rock, who is still active and could be WWE champion come WrestleMania next year. You know, you've got Triple H, who is or isn't retired. You know, you've got, you know, so many different names on the list that should be in there that aren't in there. But headline-wise, Hunter, Rock, Undertaker, Mick Foley, you know, Mr. McMahon himself, you know. Greg Cherry, our old buddy, is WWE's mentality of not having a strong heel for long, like Nexus before SummerSlam 2 years ago, hurting them in the future. I want to thank all you guys, by the way, for using the hashtag shenanigans on Twitter. Very, very well done. Greg, you know, you and I have talked about this privately, I believe. I don't recall, to be perfectly honest with you. We have so many conversations, it seems like, these days. Lack of heels and lack of strong baby faces, other than freaking John Cena, it seems like, or Randy Orton when he's not being an idiot, is definitely a huge hindrance to the entire company. You know, WWE's lack of desire, it seems, to push new talent is definitely hurting them. And I feel that unless they, you know, elevate guys, which I'm sure we'll talk about more this week also, they need to, if they fail to elevate guys, they're going to sit there and become more complacent and get worse on television and at house shows and pay-per-views, and it's just going to continue the steep downhill fall. Bob Cook on Facebook. Once again, congrats on Dad's 100. Hope you are doing well. My question is, if you have the time, what do you think about what WWE has done with the guys that have come up through the indies? Do you find yourself still liking Bryan, Evan Bourne, Class Technology, Hero, or has WWE killed the characters for you? Well, I have said more than once that I no longer acknowledge Bryan Danielson on TV as Bryan Danielson. The guy on TV is Daniel Bryan. That guy is a joke. You know, the guy I met at Access a couple weeks ago is Bryan. He signed my thing. It's too far to reach. He signed my autograph card, Bryan Danielson, because that's my buddy Bryan, who I've known for a long time and I've been a fan of. Bryan's awesome. But Daniel Bryan, no, I don't like that guy. Claudio Castagnoli, Antonio Cesaro, I love that he's the United States champion. I wish they'd ditch that title and bring back the European Championship. You know, Hero, I haven't seen Cassius Ohno yet in NXT. I need to start catching up on my stuff. Evan Bourne, I've liked Matt Sydal. I liked him better in WSX and at PWG when I saw him live and everything. The Evan Bourne character is okay. He's a cute little underdog character, but you know, it's the whole, you know, he's either suspended or hurt all the time. He's got the Mysterio syndrome. But Evan's much more likable, in my opinion. And then, you know, you've got guys like Punk, who, you know, they haven't ruined it all. They've made Punk leaps and bounds better. You know, and then you had a guy like Colt Cabana who was in WWE, and they blew it with him, and now he's back doing his thing on the Indies again. So it really depends on the situation, not just the booking overall. Kevin Ray Johnson, Jeff, please answer on After the Bell. Who are your current favorite wrestlers in WWE and TNA that haven't had a title in their respective companies that you feel deserve a push? And who do you feel from the indie scene out here that can make an impact on WWE and TNA? Well, the answer to the second question is Joey Ryan. He's still very, very active out here, and he's still Mr. 87% and doing the gut check stuff all the time with TNA.
Although he lost his first round match at Bola.
Did he really? Did TJ beat him? Ugh. Well, hell. Well, it makes Laura happy, so whatever. I'm over it. Sorry, Joey. As far as the guys that are in the companies that haven't won championships yet, that I feel deserve a push, with WWE, oh goodness, there's like so many that have already been champion. In one form or another. Let me go back to WWE in a minute. With TNA, there are a lot of guys that I feel, could be a very viable singles competitor or even a tag team competitor. But with TNA, I probably would have to say the person I'd like to see win a championship that hasn't won a championship yet is oh hell, I forgot her name now. And yeah, it's gonna sound really dumb because she just got there. Taryn Terrell. I'm not a huge fan of the model types getting the championships, but I like Taryn. I've liked her. I know she had a whole lot of drama, and she ended up cost Drew McIntyre his push and blah blah blah. But I've liked Taryn. I like her look, and I know that if she is given the chance, like a Brooke Tessmacher has been given, she can improve. Brooke hasn't yet. But, we saw that with Tara the other night, or a couple weeks ago. That match was the drizzling shits. Pardon my language if the boy's still awake. But she was in the ring with Tara, a tremendous talent, and she couldn't do a simple hip toss with her. It was ridiculous. In WWE, there is a guy that has not held a championship yet that I'd like to see win a championship. That's Alex Riley. Alex Riley has not been anything, he's not been tag or mid-card or anything like that. I'd like to see A-Rod get a shot at the championship. That'd be awesome to see. It really would. It'd be really cool. Will it happen? Probably not, because that's just the way it works, unfortunately.
I like what you did there.
What's that?
It'd be awesome to see.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Almost like I did it on purpose. Almost. Alright. Michael Falsey. 2 questions. What are my thoughts on Jerry Lawler as a commentator? Do you think it's time for him to be replaced maybe by William Regal? Yes. Please. Why do you say no, Mikey?
Oh, no.
Why do you say it?
King is the man.
Okay, but I kind of have to agree with Punk in the terms of his commentary style is it's worn out, and Regal, if they got rid of both Cole and frickin' Lawler and brought JR to Raw again and put him with Regal like they have in NXT, amazing. Regal's a great color commentator and JR is JR. I like to see that. And who do I think?
I also miss Matt Stryker commentary.
I do too. I miss the only person I really don't miss, people I don't miss so far that are no longer on commentary, is Josh Matthews with his stupid little lawsuit storyline. He can like I told you the other day, they can counter-sue him for douchebaggery and win hand over fist. And Booker T, who was being a much better general manager than he ever was a commentator.
Not JBL.
Bradshaw I miss. Bradshaw was the best color analyst that Cole ever had with him, even better than Taz. JBL and Cole were an awesome team together. JBL took all of Cole's weaknesses and just put them on the back burner and hid them and made Cole look better. And that's a hard thing to do, that little rat-faced bastard. It's hard to make Cole look good, but JBL did it wonderfully for whatever that was, a year and a half. Awesome. The other question was, who do I think started the Attitude Era, Steve Austin or Shawn Michaels? It's a very debatable point. You can say it both ways at the end of the day. I think what really started the Attitude Era was indeed the Austin 316 promo at King of the Ring 96. That promo led to a attitudinal switch in the company. And I think that I think Austin, combined with Bret Hart's departure, combined with Shawn Michaels turning heel again and forming DX with Hunter and Chyna and Rude, I think helped turn that corner. And again, the Attitude Era was a big deal. And Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin were both very big contributors, but I think Austin's promo is what started that. Bernard Firth, do you see Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara forming a tag team or stable together? I personally think it would be great for the tag team division. Yeah, can they change their names to Botch and Gimpy? No, Ray, go away. Keep your concussed, stupid San Diego self off my television. And Sin Cara, he stopped doing the trampoline for a reason. He's doing a little better on the botching. But, it's like, I don't care. Wayne Martinsky, how do you see Aces and Eights running its course in TNA? Me personally, I think it's going to be like the original Nexus in WWE, where they are going to get a great build, only be destroyed very quickly. I have not watched Impact from 4 nights ago. I watched last week, the week before, where Aces and Eights were getting beat up by everybody on Impact, including Hollywood Hogan. So, the fact that they're already doing that big angle where they're beating everybody up does not look good for Aces and Eights. I hope this past week's Impact and Impact coming this week will improve the situation. I do enjoy the gimmick. You're right, Wayne. I don't see how it's going to play out well. Because what more can they do with it at this point? Unless they reveal like a big name. Ken Carrick. Hi, Jeff. Don't know if you answered this question on one of the shows, can you tell me one? Which 5 guys do you think could be the future for the company of WWE? My picks would be Dolph Ziggler, Justin Gabriel, Mason Ryan, Seth Rollins, and Alex Riley. With the exception of Mason Ryan, I think those guys are all great choices for the future of the company. I mentioned A-Rye earlier. Seth Rollins, Tyler Black, for those of you that follow Ring of Honor, is a great talent. The other guys you mentioned have, already got their big run in WWE so far, and they seem to be doing okay. But those guys definitely will be the future, and you've got, a whole shit ton of guys in NXT, no longer FCW, that can definitely get the job done as well. You've got Chris Hero, you've got, Antonio who's been called up. You've got so many guys that, again, they're just not elevating. They're having them on the NXT show that we can't even freaking watch in this country, which is bullshit. So, I'd like to see what happens. Alright, on to the YouTube. JBat20. Hey Jeff, why doesn't CM Punk use the Pepsi Punch at WWE? The first time I saw it, I marked the fuck out. It was insane. It seemed like it would get over huge at WWE. The son-in-law of God uses it. It's called the pedigree. Except the Pepsi Plunge is more badass because it's off the second rope, top rope? Second rope. Going the other way. It's freaking sick. I saw it at Gorilla. It ain't pretty. Fuck you up. But the reason it's new is because it's the pedigree. And if Triple H, can't do it and Punk can, then the son-in-law of God doesn't look better. That's why. I guarantee it. Detal Godzilla Star. Hey Jeff, I want to know what's the big deal for Miz. What's the big deal for Miz to become a Triple Crown champion? I mean, Big Show won his first IC belt in WWE at the biggest stage of them all at WrestleMania to become at least a Triple Crown. Not one word about it. Did they mention he became a Triple Crown when he won the championship? Didn't they make a huge deal out of it when Big Show won?
He's talking about us. Making a big deal about Miz winning.
Oh, okay. Well, we like the Miz more than we like the Big Show. It really comes down to that at the end of the day. Miz has been a house favorite. The moment I moved in here and I realized that Jay had a like for the Miz, it was like a drawn to a magnet. It was like, oh, somebody else likes the Miz. Because living in my parents' house, nobody liked Mike Milan. So, and as far as Big Show goes, yeah, he became a Triple Crown champion. But in my eyes, both of them already were. Because they were both former United States champions.
And as far as I'm concerned, if I may be allowed to interject, Big Show didn't need it.
No.
Big Show had already held the WCW, ECW, and WWF championships.
Plus the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was the first and only person to win the major belt of all 3 companies.
Mm-hmm.
He had been Tag Team Champion, United States Champion, Hardcore Champion. He didn't need the IC title.
Exactly.
Miz had been floundering in hell after losing the belt back to He Who Did Not Need Another title run at Extreme Rules last year. And he needed a kick in the butt to get back to the main event.
Exactly. That's why. He said it. There you go. This is from Tahezi. How would you see the first year return of Wade Barrett going? How would you book it, or even do you think WWE booking him properly? I would love to believe that they're going to take this bare knuckle promos they've been showing for him and just book him as a tough son of a bitch and just go through everybody and get his big win and become world champion finally. But this is WWE we're talking about. They're going to fuck it up. It's going to happen.
The first rule of the Barrett Barrage is you do not talk about the Barrett Barrage.
The second rule of Barrett Barrage is WWE's going to fuck it up. And do you think he's better with Nexus and should therefore start a new faction? No. Nexus was great as a starting vehicle for him, but Wade stands so much greater when it's just Wade Barrett. This one is from Red 56 Reigns. Jeff, is Kevin Nash a Hall of Famer on his own? I think if the NWO goes in as a group like the Horsemen, then yes. But just Nash alone, do you think he is a Hall of Famer? Would like JJ and Statboy's answers as well?
Yes.
Statboy. All right, JJ, go ahead.
Fuck the Super Shredder. In all seriousness, though, yes. I think Kevin Nash / Diesel could be a Hall of Famer on his own.
I mean, think about it this way. NWO member or not at the time when he did all these things, WWF Triple Crown winner, you know, WCW World Champion, WCW Tag Team Champion, WCW Commissioner, even though whatever, you know, founding member of the NWO, you know, helped reform NWO in WWE, the WWF, excuse me, trained monkey here. Kevin Nash does stand alone as a Hall of Famer. The NWO would be his better bet, though, I think. Because the NWO definitely deserves a place in the Hall of Fame. They deserve their own damn wing, some of them, Christ.
Don't know if they'll do that with Hall's situation right now, though.
It really depends on... Because you know what? He was invited to come when Shawn got inducted. He just didn't want to go and be around the party atmosphere. Based on the way we saw X-Pac at Raw 1000, probably a good idea. But, if Scott can clean himself up and induct the NWO, that'd be cool. Oh, the WWE Addict. Hey, Jeff, my question is, where does the Attitude Era start and end for you? For me, it started at WrestleMania 14 and then at WrestleMania 17. I say it started, you know, I said earlier, King of the Ring 96 and then in 97 with the Austin 316 promo and then the whole Raw is War rebranding in early 97. And the whole invasion of ECW at their time. And as far as an end, I would honestly say the end of the Attitude Era came with the end of the Alliance storyline. I honestly believe that because it was the WWF still had their attitude when they were facing off against the Alliance of WCW and ECW. And I think once the brand extension era started to bubble in Vince's crazy brain, and then in 2001 and 2002, it was no longer the Attitude Era, it was the brand extension era. And then we have the modern era now with the C Nation and, you know, all that stuff. So I would say from 96 to about late 2001 or 2002. Next one comes from Mr. SMC 345. Jeff, love the show. You know, actually, I'm going to do that one last, because that's a really good question. I'm going to do that one last. Ishida 1017. I have two questions, Jeff. What's the bigger honor for Newtown WWE? Being put in the video games or having an action figure made of them? Talking to, you know, all the guys that I've talked to that have been in the business and had stuff done with them, they like the action figures better because the action figure, you know, lives forever. You always say you had your first action figure made of you. The video games change every year, so it's like whatever. They don't care.
Play with themselves.
That was Jade Hogan. At Jade Hogan RSI. tweet her that crap. Okay.
I won't tweet you back because I don't have anything to do it on, but yeah.
I control her Twitter. After watching what happened to Heath Slater, what old-timers can still wrestle? Well, Sid did pretty good for how, out of shape we all thought he was. Vader did pretty good. Steve Lombardi, the Brooklyn Brawler, Doink the Clown, did pretty good, even though he lost the match. Rikishi still looks like Rikishi. But he's doing really well. I didn't mind any old timer. Even Bob Backlund at 168 years old did really well, Bob Backlund looked pretty good. Okay, the last one on there was from Mr. What was it again? I forgot the name, right? Not all. Mr. SMC 345. You want to know what my scariest moment in the business was? There have been quite a few, unfortunately, in my brief in-ring career, if you want to call it that, or like actually in the business career in the last 5 years. One happened really early on in late 2007 on a trip to Hayward, California, which is up near San Jose, home of the multiple-time President's Trophy winner San Jose Sharks up there. We ran into some Sharks fans up there. I made sure I wore my King stuff that night because I'm supposed to be the bad guy. So Jade loved I was being the bad guy because that means she was getting crap too. She was so mad.
I was hiding.
Yeah, she was hiding in the corner as far away as she could. And unfortunately, the one guy to find her was Gary, the owner of Epic War. And Gary had got hit in the head with the belt and did a blade job where he pretty much just bled like a pig all over his face and was running away from the scene and couldn't see in front of him. So he ended up running at the cripple because she was the only voice he recognized and was following the safe voice.
Saying, "Get away from me,
Get
Gary.
away from me, get away from me, Gary." And it blew over the brand new trench coat I got from my grandmother for Christmas, and luckily it was so new and fresh it just like wiped right off with a rag. Then he got stitched up, and we went to Denny's, where he proceeded to sit like this with towels and stuff on his head, trying not to bleed into his grand slam. And then the collective genius of the group, which consisted of Gary, his girlfriend, myself, Jade, Gary's daughter Sam, our cameraman Jimbo, Marcus Riot. I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All 7 or 8 of us, whatever it was, decided that the guy that should drive home is the guy that's still bleeding all over the place. So it wasn't the fact that Gary got cut so deep by his own self, it's the fact that he drove home from fucking NorCal. Put all our lives at risk. And I had to stay up with him and keep him awake because NorCal to Santa Cruz is a long drive, kids. First one that happened to me that was really scary was in, oh god, I think it was June of '08, I want to say. I'm refereeing my first match at Epic because I'd refereed previously for Travis up at HGCW. I'm refereeing for Gary for the first time, and it's a tag match. It's the Commandos, again, the Suburban Commandos, who we've talked about at the BPW shows, against the Negro Division, don't send me letters, Gary's idea, of Big Nasty, Eric Watts from Tough Enough, and Willie Mack, the current NWA TV champion in Hollywood. And I'm standing between the two teams on the outside of the ring like this, okay? And they're all armed with chairs. And this stupid Newhall drunken redneck, kill the ref! And I put my head down, oh god, not good. Boom! Chair flies at me and knocks me down. On the concrete, on the hardwood floor of the Legion Hall in Newhall.
Was I there for that one?
No, you were not.
Which one of them did it?
I don't even know still. I think it was either Watts or Willie. I still don't know to this day who the hell did it, because I remember which side they were on. Because by the time it was done, I was on the floor of the Legion Hall like this, trying to protect my head, as chair after chair after chair came rambling down on me.
Have you asked them about this?
No.
I think you should.
I think I will.
That's because he's...
I'll ask the cutsies at BPW next
Is that
month.
with the famous bald head shot?
Mm-hmm. That's where it's Gary was ball. You were there for that?
Yeah.
Because the main event was Gary and Charles.
Yeah, I was there because you rushed me to the back.
Is there footage of this on YouTube?
I'm sure there is somewhere.
Or somebody rushed me to the back
I'm
before.
gonna find that.
It wasn't me. I told somebody to grab you. And then I got refereed a hardcore match between Gary and Charles Mercury. where the fans brought the weapons, including a lovely little number where somebody took a wiffle ball bat and decorated it with thumbtacks.
Cool.
We fought on top. They fought on top of the frickin' what do you call it? The metal storage bin outside. I'm trying to climb with my fat ass on top of this thing, trying to count a pinfall. That was scary itself. We're trying to watch my fat ass waddle up the side of a no grip.
Funny.
It's not funny. Shut up, cripple. But the scariest one so far for me was when I was in the middle of an angle with Epic and West Coast, and I was managing Devin Sparks, and he was in a feud with Adam, the owner of West Coast, and I took an elbow right into the small of my back, and it knocked the wind completely out of me and ended up bruising my ribs, and I couldn't walk straight for 2 months. That scared me. I thought it was legit hurt, and that scared me more than anything. So there's my scary moments. That's it for After the Bell. I've gone for, it feels like about 45 hours now, so I'm going to leave y'all with that and tune into what could be Renegade, but it's not tomorrow. It's Dad's on Wrestling, and tomorrow we're going to talk about, a very important topic to us, the alleged reclaiming of the glory of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Our opinions, we'll ask for yours. See you guys tomorrow.